Hello and welcome to Learn English with History. Today, we're going to explore the captivating and multifaceted history of France, a nation renowned for its cultural richness, historical significance, and global influence. From ancient times through the Middle Ages, and from revolutionary fervor to modernity, France's history is a fascinating journey. Let's dive into this incredible story. Ancient France, the Gauls and Roman conquest. The history of France begins in prehistoric times, with evidence of human habitation dating back to the Paleolithic era. However, it is during the Iron Age that the region saw the rise of the Celtic Gauls, a group of tribes that inhabited much of Western Europe, including what is now modern France. The Gauls were known for their fierce warrior culture, vibrant art, and complex societies. In 58 BCE, Julius Caesar launched a campaign to conquer Gaul, a process that took nearly a decade. The Roman conquest of Gaul was a pivotal moment in French history. Under Roman rule, Gaul was integrated into the Roman Empire as the province of Gallia, bringing Roman law, culture, infrastructure, and urbanization. Cities like Lutetia, modern-day Paris, Lugdunum, Lyon, and Massilia, Marseille, flourished under Roman influence. The fall of Rome and the Merovingian dynasty. As the Roman Empire declined in the 5th century CE, various Germanic tribes invaded Gaul. The most significant of these tribes were the Franks, who established themselves as the dominant power in the region. In 481, Clovis I, a Frankish king, began consolidating power and eventually founded the Merovingian dynasty. Clovis's conversion to Christianity in 496 was a crucial event, aligning the Frankish kingdom with the Roman Catholic Church, and setting the stage for the spread of Christianity throughout Europe. The Merovingian kings ruled over a fragmented and often unstable territory. Their reign is characterized by constant warfare and power struggles among noble families. Despite these challenges, the Merovingian period laid the foundation for the future unification of France. The Carolingian Empire. The Merovingian dynasty gave way to the Carolingian dynasty in the 8th century. The most notable Carolingian ruler was Charlemagne, also known as Charles the Great, who became king of the Franks in 768 and was later crowned emperor of the Romans in 800. Charlemagne's reign marked the beginning of the Carolingian Empire, which sought to revive the Roman Empire's legacy in Western Europe. Charlemagne expanded his empire through military conquests, uniting much of Western and Central Europe under his rule. He implemented administrative and legal reforms, promoted education and the arts, and worked closely with the Church to strengthen Christianity. The Carolingian Renaissance, a revival of art, culture, and learning based on classical models, flourished during his reign. After Charlemagne's death in 814, the Carolingian Empire eventually fragmented due to internal divisions and external pressures. The Treaty of Verdun in 843 divided the empire among Charlemagne's grandsons, leading to the formation of 3 distinct kingdoms. The western portion of the Carolingian Empire evolved into what we now recognize as France. The Capetian dynasty and the High Middle Ages. In 987, Hugh Capet was elected king of the Franks, marking the beginning of the Capetian dynasty, which would rule France for over 300 years. The Capetian kings gradually consolidated power and extended their control over the French territories, transforming the feudal society into a more centralized state. During the High Middle Ages, France experienced significant social, economic, and cultural development. The construction of Gothic cathedrals, such as Notre Dame de Paris and Chartres Cathedral, exemplified the architectural and artistic achievements of the period. The University of Paris, founded in the 12th century, became a leading center of learning and scholarship. The Capetian kings also faced numerous challenges, including conflicts with England over territorial claims. The most notable of these conflicts was the 100 Years' War, 1337 to 1453, a series of battles fought between the Kingdom of England and the Kingdom of France. The war had a profound impact on both nations, leading to significant political and social changes. The 100 Years' War and Joan of Arc. The 100 Years' War was a prolonged and devastating conflict that shaped the course of French history. It began as a dispute over the rightful heir to the French throne, but evolved into a broader struggle for dominance in Western Europe. The war saw significant battles, such as the Battle of Agincourt in 1415, where the English achieved a decisive victory. One of the most iconic figures to emerge during the latter stages of the war was Joan of Arc, a young peasant girl who claimed to have received visions from saints instructing her to support Charles VII and help liberate France from English occupation. Joan of Arc's leadership and inspirational presence played a crucial role in several key victories, including the Siege of Orleans in 1429. Joan was eventually captured by the English, tried for heresy, and burned at the stake in 1431. However, her martyrdom galvanized French resistance, and she was later canonized as a saint. The 100 Years' War ultimately ended in 1453 with a French victory, leading to the expulsion of the English from most of French territory and the solidification of the Valois dynasty. The Renaissance and the rise of the French monarchy. The end of the 100 Years' War marked the beginning of the French Renaissance, a period of cultural, artistic, and intellectual flourishing. The Renaissance saw the construction of magnificent chateaux in the Loire Valley, the patronage of artists and scholars, and the influence of Italian humanism on French culture. During this time, the French monarchy continued to strengthen its authority. Kings such as Francis I, R. 1515 to 1547, played a significant role in promoting the arts and sciences, establishing France as a leading cultural center in Europe. Francis I's reign also saw the beginning of the French Wars of Religion, a series of conflicts between Catholics and Protestants, Huguenots, that would plague France for much of the late 16th century. The French Wars of Religion. The French Wars of Religion, 1562 to 1598, were a tumultuous period of civil conflict and political instability. These wars were driven by religious tensions between Catholics and Huguenots, as well as by struggles for political power among the French nobility. The wars included several notable massacres, such as the St. Bartholomew's Day Massacre in 1572, where thousands of Huguenots were killed in Paris and other cities. The conflict eventually culminated in the Edict of Nantes in 1598, issued by Henry IV, the first Bourbon king of France. The edict granted limited religious freedoms to the Huguenots and helped to restore peace and stability to the country. Henry IV's pragmatic approach to governance and his efforts to rebuild France after the wars earned him the nickname Good King Henry. The Age of Absolutism and Louis XIV. The 17th century in France was characterized by the rise of absolute monarchy, with the most famous example being the reign of Louis XIV, 1643 to 1715, also known as the Sun King. Louis XIV's reign is often considered the epitome of absolute monarchy, where the king wielded centralized and unchallenged power over the state. Louis XIV's rule was marked by the construction of the opulent Palace of Versailles, which became a symbol of his absolute authority and the cultural grandeur of his court. He implemented numerous administrative and financial reforms to strengthen the monarchy's control over the country. However, his ambitious foreign policies and numerous wars, such as the War of the Spanish Succession, placed a heavy burden on France's finances and resources. Despite these challenges, Louis XIV's reign left a lasting legacy on French culture, politics, and society. The concept of absolute monarchy and the centralization of state power influenced many other European rulers and set the stage for the future development of the modern state. The Enlightenment and prelude to revolution. The 18th century saw the rise of the Enlightenment, an intellectual and cultural movement that emphasized reason, science, and individual rights. French philosophers such as Voltaire, Rousseau, and Montesquieu played a crucial role in shaping Enlightenment thought, advocating for political and social reforms that challenged the established order. The ideas of the Enlightenment, combined with widespread economic hardship and social inequality, set the stage for the French Revolution. By the late 18th century, France was facing a severe financial crisis due to excessive spending, costly wars, and a rigid social hierarchy that burdened the common people with heavy taxes. The French Revolution. The French Revolution began in 1789 and was a period of radical political and social upheaval. The revolution aimed to overthrow the absolute monarchy and establish a republic based on the principles of liberty, equality, and fraternity. It began with the convening of the Estates General and the subsequent formation of the National Assembly, which vowed to draft a new constitution for France. The revolution saw significant events, such as the storming of the Bastille on July 14, 1789, a symbol of the people's uprising against tyranny. The revolutionaries implemented sweeping reforms, including the abolition of feudal privileges, the Declaration of the Rights of Man and of the Citizen, and the secularization of the state. However, the revolution also descended into a period of violence and political turmoil known as the Reign of Terror, led by figures such as Maximilien Robespierre. Thousands of perceived enemies of the revolution were executed, including King Louis XVI and Queen Marie Antoinette. The Reign of Terror ended with Robespierre's fall in 1794, but the revolution's radical phase left a lasting impact on France and the world. The Napoleonic era. The instability of the revolutionary period paved the way for the rise of Napoleon Bonaparte, a military general who seized power in 1799 through a coup d'état. Napoleon established himself as first consul and later emperor of the French, leading France through a series of military campaigns known as the Napoleonic Wars. Napoleon's reign brought significant administrative, legal, and educational reforms, including the introduction of the Napoleonic Code, which standardized laws across France and influenced legal systems worldwide. However, his expansionist ambitions ultimately led to his downfall. After a series of military defeats, Napoleon was exiled to the island of Elba in 1814, only to return briefly in 1815 for the 100 Days, before being defeated at the Battle of Waterloo and exiled again to St. Helena. The 19th century, Restoration and Republic. Following Napoleon's defeat, the Bourbon monarchy was restored, but France continued to experience political instability. The July Revolution of 1830 led to the establishment of the July monarchy under King Louis-Philippe, who ruled as a constitutional monarch. However, dissatisfaction with his regime culminated in the Revolution of 1848, which established the Second Republic. The Second Republic was short-lived, as Louis-Napoleon Bonaparte, nephew of Napoleon I, seized power and declared himself Emperor Napoleon III in 1852, founding the Second French Empire. His reign saw significant modernization and economic development, but ended with France's defeat in the Franco-Prussian War in 1870. The collapse of the Second Empire led to the establishment of the Third Republic, which endured until World War II. The Third Republic was marked by political struggles, economic challenges, and the rise of socialist and labor movements. Despite these challenges, it was a period of cultural and intellectual vibrancy, with notable contributions to art, literature, and science. World Wars and the Modern Era. The 20th century was a tumultuous time for France, with the nation enduring 2 world wars. During World War I, France was a major battlefield, suffering immense human and material losses. The Treaty of Versailles in 1919 marked the end of the war, but the interwar period was characterized by political and economic instability. World War II brought further devastation, with France being occupied by Nazi Germany in 1940. The French resistance played a crucial role in fighting the occupiers, and France was eventually liberated in 1944. After the war, France emerged as a founding member of the United Nations and a key player in the formation of the European Union. The post-war period saw significant economic growth and modernization under the leadership of figures such as Charles de Gaulle, who established the Fifth Republic in 1958. De Gaulle's policies focused on strengthening the executive branch, promoting industrialization, and maintaining an independent foreign policy. Contemporary France. Today, France is a vibrant and diverse country known for its rich cultural heritage, influential role in global affairs, and commitment to democratic values. It is a leading member of the European Union and plays a significant role in international organizations such as the United Nations and NATO. France's economy is one of the largest in the world, driven by industries such as aerospace, automotive, luxury goods, and tourism. The country's cultural contributions, from art and literature to cuisine and fashion, continue to shape global trends and inspire people around the world. And that brings us to the end of our journey through the history of France. From its ancient roots to its modern achievements, France's history is a testament to the resilience, creativity, and enduring spirit of its people. We hope you enjoyed this exploration of France's past and gained a deeper appreciation for its rich cultural heritage. Thank you for joining us on Learn English with History. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an episode. Leave a comment below with any questions or topics you'd like us to cover in future videos. Until next time, keep exploring and learning.